Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be somewhat of a quick look at my newest game that I'm currently working on. This is definitely a work in progress. It's still early stages of the work in progress, but I wanted to show you guys anyways, just to sort of prove to you that things are happening and we are moving forward. I've also decided that I want to do this every 4 months. So every 4 months you're going to get a video from me talking about what is going on in my newest game, Nora's story, and how it's coming to be. So in the end of all this, you'll be able to almost watch this game go from the bare basics that we will see today to a finished game, and I feel like that might be a little fun, especially for those of you who are thinking about doing a ren'py game and just not quite sure the process of it and how long it really takes to do things. I feel like if I had more time, I could probably do it a lot better. Lavar's Life was made when I had more time. I was working 2 jobs at the time for most of making of Lavar's Life, but those 2 jobs were giving me really bad hours, so I was able to actually pull off the game a lot sooner. Nora's story is a lot more complex, and so just be prepared that it is going to take a bit. It's not going to be out next week or even probably this year. I am kind of, fingers crossed, hoping for next year, but even that is not able to be said at this point, okay? Maybe as we get going in these videos, I'll be able to tell you guys better. So that's why we're going to do every 4 months, because every month is kind of not, there's not something major going on within the game itself every month, because I am working a job outside of here. Sometimes I'm just doing art that month, and sometimes I have more time than others. I will be keeping track of it on DeviantArt in my journals there. If you guys do follow me over there, you will see my journals each month, and I will always mention what I've done on the game and what my plans are for the month ahead. So keep an eye out there, and you'll get to have monthly updates, and then every 4 months will be a video update on here. So, as you guys are probably seeing right now, these are some of the placeholder artworks for the characters that I have. This is just some of them. I'm not going to show you guys all of them due to the fact I don't want too many spoilers. There will be some spoilers at the very end when we kind of go through the game, but I'm not going to, I don't want to have too many spoilers on you. Fair warning, I only have chapter 1 coded right now. I am almost done writing chapter 2, but it needs to, I need to do spell check and everything before I put it into the coding program, because once I put it into the coding program, it just makes it so much harder to take it out of the coding program, spell check it, then put it back in. So I realized that with chapter 1, so I will be doing it written somewhere else first, then bringing it into the coding thing. So we're going to take a quick look at the code. There we are. So you can kind of have, there are some little spoilers here if you so choose to observe everything that is on the screen at the moment. But over on the right hand side is my main thing I want to show you guys, and that is a very small version of the script. Okay? This is what we're seeing right now. You can kind of see the little gray box. That is what we are viewing right now, and as I scroll down you are going to notice the indents is what I really would like you to see. That is where choices are made or paths are taken. Sometimes there's an indent within an indent, so you'll see a bigger indent, sometimes there's a smaller indent, sometimes there's it just really, it depends on what's going on, but that's kind of what I want you guys to see, is that kind of stuff and how the paths are. Now, it's not a guarantee. Sometimes there may be a short scene where it will then say jump to this part in the script. Sometimes it will be a longer scene. So you don't necessarily know, oh, there's a little indent there, it must be like a little tiny spot of writing. It must be a very short scene, so that must not matter. Most of the choices in this game will matter to some extent, whether it's a friendship thing, so therefore it might only have a short little scene afterwards, but you have had an impact to your character's status with that other character. Some of it might be a trait thing, so you're going to build up your points towards different traits, and those traits will later on determine other paths you can take within the game. This is only chapter 1. It has very minimal coding in it, so most of it, as you could probably notice, the darker kind of orangey yellow stuff, that is all writing and text that will be seen in the game. Okay, not what you're seeing on the screen right now, but once we get into the game itself, that is all text that is written in the game. So, let's go. There we go, that's chapter 1. If I scroll up a little bit here, we can kind of see what line we're at the end of this, which is 1057. This is, again, like I said, without much coding. That's about it for this, for the script anyways. Let's move on to the game itself. Alright, so we are going to take a look at the game now itself. Like I said, this is still very early. You're not going to see anything major, cool, or anything like that. This is still the bare basics of making a game. So we'll hit start and skip, and we have this first question here is, have you played Lavar's Life? And well, basically, which ending did you get if you played it? And I suggest that if you have played it and you played all the endings, pick your favorite one. If you have not played it, you can pick down here if you want, or you can pick whichever. This does not have a major impact on the game. It will only change like some dialogue things. It won't affect whether you have a higher chance of getting a better relationship with anybody or anything like that. It's just going to talk about things as if the ending that you chose happened. Okay, so yeah, we'll just pick neutral ending just to keep it neutral. And here you can see the placeholders of the ren'py placeholders that they have. I'm actually thinking for the cubs, I'm going to put them down in the left-hand side of the corner, like the left corner of the screen. And so when they're talking, they'll show up there, and it will be the adults that are on the screen. If it's just cubs interacting with other cubs, then it will be where they're all on the screen, like how Lavar's Life was. But I wanted to kind of have, because there's going to be a size difference between them, and I didn't want it to be where the adults are either having to like really hunch down to kind of look like they still fit in with the group or anything like that. So there was a couple options I had, and I'm still going to play around with them. We'll see which option I like. That'll be something you might notice in the next video that I do. Right now, this is how it looks, okay? Because these are just placeholders. I'm just kind of figuring things out right now. And even still, this is the only part where it has any sort of placeholders. The rest of it is stuff that I will eventually put the placeholders in. So you will automatically, the next time I show you guys chapter 1, you will see a difference. So even though there will be other chapters, chapter 1 will have changed drastically, even if it is still just placeholders in the place. Okay? So we'll just continue to skip. And I'm going to do these choices. I'm not going to tell you what impacts they're going to have or anything like that. So I'm just going to pick based on the fact that I like this little crazy, evil Nora picture here. So yeah. I'm not going to tell you what everything is about. So I'm going to just pick this. And I will laugh again. Some of these, also the choices that are made, like you notice that one was like laugh it off and the other one was laugh. I don't want to have the two of them being the same thing. So, well, I'm just kind of, to some extent, they're placeholders within the actual story itself. Yeah, it's a fun game, but I don't want it to say the same thing over and over again, right? So those sort of like options are still sort of placeholders, and the wording will change over time. Probably, like I said, even in the next video of this that you guys see, it could have a change to it. So, yeah. Okay, this is a major part in the game. I don't want to say too much, but this choice here will definitely impact more than just your friendship with Gelato. And I will go back to this scene again when we are doing the spoiler stuff. Right now I'm going to say push him. And let's apologize. We're going to be nice. And we're going to say tell him to go along. And I'm going to blur the bottom of the screen so you guys don't see this. Lots of stuff happening. Okay, here we go. So at the end of each chapter, you're going to have information that is given to you of like how you did in the game, kind of thing. And right now it mainly is going to talk about relationships with characters. It's going to talk about events that took place. Like, for example, you didn't listen to Mo and Timmy 2's talk. You did not meet the strange cub. You learned how to hunt from Mo. So you learned how to hunt from Mo will only show up if you learn how to hunt from Mo. If you don't, then that will not even show up at all. You did not meet the strange cub. That's telling you right then and there was something important that you missed. But don't take that as I gotta redo the chapter now. Okay? Treat that when you're first playing it especially as, it's a change in the path. And I will say right now, the strange cub, if you don't meet the strange cub in the first chapter, you will not meet the strange cub at all for the rest of the game. So it is a major thing that is there. But it doesn't necessarily mean that your game is going to suck because you didn't meet the strange cub. Okay? But I will tell you it's a permanent thing. You did not listen to Mo and Timmy 2's talk. This is kind of a minor thing. It is kind of important, but it's not. There's nothing past this moment here that is going to affect whether you listen to Mo and Timmy 2's talk, okay? So that's up to you and how you want to play. That choice that you made during that time did affect things enough that it shows in the chapter events, but it hasn't affected it so much that you're not going to be able to play the game. Like I said, this game is mainly for the what ifs. You guys can choose what happens however you want it to happen. Okay? So, and that answers chapter 2, which again, as I mentioned before, chapter 2 is mostly written, but I gotta spell check it before I put it into the coding thing, because I tried to do it the other way around with chapter 1 and it was just frustrating and annoying. So I thought, well, I'll put it through a spell check once chapter 2 is done, then put it into the coding and put the spacing in and all that stuff, and just sort of, that'll be my day of like having some chips and dip and just spacing everything out in the coding stuff. Anyway, from this point on is going to be spoilers. So if you do not want spoilers, click away from the video now. I will tell you right now, if you're wondering what kind of spoilers, it's the spoilers of the strange cub and how to meet the strange cub and who the strange cub is. Okay? So, click away, spoiler warning, let's continue. Okay. I'm just gonna go through all this while I talk to you guys. So, the strange cub is LeVar. For those of you guys that do not know, hopefully that gave enough people enough time to get away. And there are 2 spots where you can meet LeVar, okay? So there is Let Him Fall or Help Him. Both of these will take you to a scene, the same scene, where you will have a chance to meet LeVar, okay? Because you stay with Gelato if you pick either of those 2. If you pick Push Him, then you will leave Gelato, and therefore you will not have a chance to meet LeVar, but there is still hope. So we're just going to say push him just because. Right now we've already just done that before. We'll just apologize to him, why not? Then we are back to this scene here. So I'm going to say if you chose to not push him, maybe you helped him or you let him fall, either of those 2 options is fine, depending on what path you want to take. There will be a scene that will almost be so obvious that that's where you meet LeVar, that you gotta know. There's no way around it. This scene here, though, is different. So if you choose... Also, okay, so if you choose not to meet LeVar at the part that is so obvious to meet LeVar, you will get a second chance with this one here. Okay, so you will get to possibly meet LeVar if you choose the right one here as well. So you can still help Gelato up and not meet LeVar. Just because you helped him up doesn't mean you're going to meet LeVar and that you have to meet LeVar. And also just because you pushed him doesn't mean you're going to meet LeVar either. It's just this will be the only way you will meet LeVar. If you do not meet LeVar at the other spot, this is your last chance to meet LeVar. And to do that, you have to hit go with Gelato. Okay? Skip. No matter what at this point, because you went with Gelato, you will meet LeVar. You can call out or escape. So if you escape, you will not know anything really about LeVar. If you call out, you will actually meet LeVar and get a chance to learn his name. So if you choose to question him, you will learn his name. Skip. Because you learned his name, you will have more than just these two options. Okay, so if you don't learn his name, these are the options that you have. If you don't learn his name, this is the option, or if you don't learn his name, these are the two options you have. If you do learn his name, you also have this option here. And I gotta skip this fairly quickly. We'll get to the end here. There is 3 different endings to Chapter 1 based on your playing of the game. So they are quite different from each other. So I would highly suggest enjoying Chapter 1 and playing the way you wish to play. Kind of think before you start when you do play this game, which version, like how you want to play Nora. Do you want to play her more like yourself, or do you want to play her how you picture her, or are you in like an evil mood or an unfriendly mood? Pick how you want to play her. So here we go. Okay, even though we pushed Gelato, we get along with Gelato, okay? We didn't befriend Gelato, which is the only, you can only get that if you have a much higher score with Gelato. You learned of the dangers coming, you met the strange cub, you learned the cub's name is LeVar. Okay, so you already got, there's a few things here. Before, it didn't say you didn't learn the strange cub's name, because that had nothing to do with anything. Before it said you didn't meet the strange cub. But you could also have just met the strange cub and didn't learn his name. It won't say you didn't learn his name, it will just say you met the strange cub. Okay? But it will tell you the little information here. Now, the one thing that's kind of confusing me, I gotta check it out in the coding. For some reason, it's not showing that you learn to hunt from Mo. If you push Gelato, that you will learn to hunt with Mo. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, and I will definitely take a look at that and make sure it's added in if you did learn to hunt from Mo. I think I might know what's going on, and it's an easy fix, so I'm not too concerned. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It's longer than I would like it to be, but that's okay. And the next one will probably be just as long, if not longer, so hopefully I'll be able to go through it faster. I will kind of rely on the fact that hopefully you guys have watched this one before you watch the next one. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, which probably will be another one of Nora's story, at least where I'm talking. It will be probably Nora's story video, and it will be coming out in 4 months from now, so probably about the end of June. You'll get another video from me showing how the game is looking so far at that point. So I hope to see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for those of you who stuck it out for the spoilers, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!